Welcome back to the channel. Today we are looking at the Reversible Multi-tool. You may know it by different names, but that's what it says on the packaging. This is a different multi-tool, that's for sure. On this side, we have some good multi-tool pliers that are different, and that's a good thing. You can get actually a lot more grip on tougher objects, and I was pretty impressed. I was able to put an antique dresser back together, a door pull of it, and this was exactly actually what I needed tonight. So that's impressive. They meet together pretty well, and these pliers actually, for whatever reason, seem to be fairly well made for what they are. On the other side, you see that unfortunately the metal of these pliers, it's sort of that gritty metal. It's not that great. So they're holding up okay. Just got out of the package recently and I've done some tasks with it, but unfortunately I don't have high hopes for the future. So on this side, we do have a wire cutter and we are able to do things like cut wire hanger. At least I have. Let's see. And that is a very painful process. You essentially are going to almost scar your hands because you've got these ridges of metal, very uncomfortable ergonomics, but that's what you get. Supposedly, these are wire cutters as well, but they are actually wire smashers if you have anything less than this. So if you have, for instance, some smaller gauge wire, you have an excellent wire smasher, and there you go, it smashes the wire for you. Now on to the wire cutters now, or the wire strippers rather. I was really sort of excited. This was the part that I was looking forward to. I use a lot of electrical things in my job, so I was hoping for some wire strippers on a multi-tool. You hardly ever see that in a plier head on a multi-tool, and there you go, it does nothing. So let's go ahead, move up to this gauge, and unfortunately, what do we have? We just have basically, again, it's just a masher. So it sort of put a notch, a little band in the material, but it really doesn't do much. I'll even use this and a little bit better, but that's all you get. So unfortunately, these are more like wire crimpers. Now the packaging says they have wire crimpers, which is down here. These are supposed to be the wire strippers, but unfortunately they don't work. All right, so on to some more better points, not great, but better. So this right here goes out and that captures this, so you can use the screwdriver. So here's the screwdriver, and the good thing is the screwdriver works. I've gone around my house, tightened up some loose bolts I didn't realize I had actually, and this works really well. The problem is it's loose. So it's loose there. Now, I put a lot of torque on the screwdriver. I didn't baby it, and it actually, I was impressed that the bit seemed just fine, but eventually, especially with these cheaper bits, I'm sure it would strip and start spinning. But anyway, that's what it is. It's worked good so far. On the inside here, I always like to see new things in multi-tools, even if they're a little cheap. And here you've got a bit container. I thought that was pretty clever, even though probably it makes ergonomics, well, it's on the inside, I guess. No, it's on the outside, depending which one you use. But anyway, even though it does make it bite in your hand, it's pretty clever to have the cache for the bits right there. All right, so let's go on to the next tools. We have got a non-existent serrated blade. Now, what's impressive about these tools is they actually lock up fairly well. Now, this is, I guess you would call it a slip joint because it does go back. You can get it to release, but it locks up really firmly compared to even some Gerber multi-tools. So I was impressed with that. Now, does the serrated knife rather work? No, it does not. Why? Well, it might be because it has, a file on the other side. I don't know if I've ever seen a serrated knife that's a file. That's really different. And on the other side, it's depth gauge, and on the end, it's a screwdriver. So I would say that you could probably use it as a 1-inch measure ruler if you desperately need 1 inch. It's probably good at that. And the end as a screwdriver does seem to work. I used that earlier tonight. So moving on, we have the knife, and that does cut paracord. It's not extremely sharp, but it does cut. And then we've got a tiny little saw. I didn't even bother trying this out. This is a very minute, tiny saw. And then we have got a wrench. If you have some tiny bolts you need to unloosen that might work for you. And then it does come with this bottle cap lifter if that's important. And on the end we have an awl. Now this is a little bit sharp, so that's a unique design as well. So they definitely have some interesting tool sets in here. And then these all go here. And then you've got your two different pliers. But to be honest, this plier really isn't worth much. So is this multi-tool worth the $15, $16, $17 I paid for it? No, not really. Is it unique? Yeah, it has some interesting features. I like that it has a bit storage. That's sort of neat. If anything, oh, and then the magnet does fall out, as you see. So that's another issue. If anything, I do like that it has the screwdriver in the end, even though it spins. Instead of some of the screwdrivers that flip out. I feel like that's better. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.